Hi everyone! Welcome to Coffee with Baseload. And today I'm very thrilled that we moved Coffee with Baseload to Tokyo!
Yay!
And today we have our country manager of Baseload Power Japan, Peter Soon, sitting with me and enjoy our fika time today. Yes, and it's our very first episode in Japan. Yeah, and today we also prepare very traditional Japanese snack for this episode. Would you like to help us to introduce what are those to our audience?
Certainly. So first of all, down here we have a very classic one. It's a dango, or a mitarashi dango to be precise. This is enjoyed by all ages, so sold in various both regular shops and also street stalls in Japan at festivals and whatnot. Then we have another one which is very famous. It's called the daifuku. This one is lately also quite popular throughout the rest of Asia. And then we have two types of monaka here.
Monaka.
On the other side. Yeah. So these are all very traditional snacks that are typically enjoyed in Japan. Perhaps most often with the green tea, but with your beverage of choice, they're all excellent.
Looks so yummy, but bear with us. We will enjoy it later after our catch up with the latest happening in geothermal energy industry first. Then. Yes. So we are very happy that we have you on board as our country manager in Baseload Power Japan. Would you like to introduce yourself a little bit?
Of course. Yeah, so as you mentioned previously, my name is Petter, born and raised in Sweden. So my background is within engineering. So I studied mechanical engineering with a minor within energy systems in Sweden. And then between 2005 and 2006, I spent 1 year in Japan, in Saitama, which is just north of Tokyo. And then I have been living and working in Japan for about 10 years in total. And also for the last 10 years, I've been working, supporting the international growth of Swedish companies, based first in Japan, then also in Sweden, and a small stint in Taiwan before coming back to Japan last year, 2023, to join Baseload Power Japan. So super happy and excited to be here. And I think this is a very exciting time for the Japanese geothermal industry. So.
Yeah, it's also a lot of progress and discussion about sustainability, and it's also called GX initiative and carbon neutral goal in Japan.
Yeah.
Would you like to give us some background about what happened and what's the role of geothermal energy involving these kind of initiatives?
Yeah, so the Japanese government have a goal to have Japan carbon neutral by 2050. So of course it's an ambitious target, which involves not only geothermal but all types of renewables, of course. So if we zoom in on geothermal a little bit, so Japan has the third largest potential in the world for geothermal energy. So it stands at 23.4 gigawatts, which would be equivalent to half of all the nuclear power reactors in Japan, but currently only 600 or so megawatts have been developed, which is only roughly 2.3%. So I think there is still a lot of potential to develop the Japanese market, and the Japanese government has set a target of more than doubling the installed geothermal capacity by 2030 to reach 1,500 megawatts. So I think also the government is doing a lot to help promote the industry, but I think also for us as developers, of course, we have to make sure that we help them hit that target. So of course, that's also one of the reasons for why I'm excited to be here. I think that this is a great time to be in geothermal in the Japanese market.
And especially when we talk about off-taker, this kind of side, for example, Japan also have many strong tech industry.
Yeah.
I bet they also have this demand from green energy in the future, right?
Yes, and one very strong trend that we see in the market is that Japan is becoming a preferred destination for data centers in Asia. And they are planning to build more than 1,000 data centers in just the coming 5 or so years. So I think especially the combination of geothermal energy and data centers is a very interesting one, especially given that data centers are extremely energy intensive, and the fact that geothermal power produces 24-hour baseload energy. I think that's a very interesting mix that will be talked about more and more. So of course also you have not only a lot of domestic Japanese companies, but also a lot of international companies choosing to set up data centers in Japan. So that's one development that we are following closely.
And also, when we talking about developing geothermal, we will definitely touch upon what happened in those potential areas. And you have the chance to join in with the team in some field trips.
Yeah.
What did you observe when you have those field trips in potential areas?
I mean, of course, first of all, it is fantastic to get a chance to visit these places where we're looking at developing, and even more so to interact with the local community to understand, their opinions, their concerns, what they're excited about when it comes to rolling out green energy in Japan. So I think that was fantastic to get a chance to really go out there and understand what these projects are going to look like in their context, so to say. So I think learned a lot by being out there and also working together with international experts to see how they are working to develop these projects. So overall, that was a fantastic experience that I hope I get another chance to do soon.
But in Japan, geothermal has a quite long history, right? Starting from 1960s.
Yeah.
So how do you see the overall local people's opinions on geothermal power?
Of course, you see some differing opinions. I mean, it is also a little bit depending on where in Japan you go. But of course, people want to see that this development is done sustainably, both in terms of sharing the resource with, for example, onsen owners, because Japan is very famous for its hot springs. So, of course, we need to make sure that these two industries can coexist, but also to minimize sort of the environmental impact, and also making sure that whatever we do is sort of also visually acceptable by the community. So a lot of these communities where we work are predominantly aging societies, and these are people who have in many cases lived in these communities for a very long time. So we need to respect what they have been doing there for all of these years, and make sure that we work together with them to realize these projects. I think that really is the key, and one of the sort of also key lessons for me when I was out in the field and interacting with these people.
Yes, at Baseload, we always emphasize that developing geothermal projects, community is the key. Yeah. So for sure, we will make efforts on communicating with people, understand how they feel, and how they think about geothermal projects.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes. So overall, would you share with us your how you envision Baseload Power Japan could contribute to geothermal development in Japan market?
Yeah, I think one such area is, of course, our international network. So we have a very strong network with, for example, technology consultants or drilling companies and so on. I think there's really a lot that we can bring into the market and share with the rest of the industry. So I hope that by sort of realizing these really international partnerships in the Japanese market, that can sort of rub off on some of the other players that are in the market, so that we together can get closer to the goal that the government has set up. And in the future, of course, then also hit the carbon neutral target by 2050, which we're all striving to do. So I think that's perhaps one key point where I see that we can really contribute in the market.
Yeah, we are very excited, and make sure, friends, if you are interested in Japan market, don't hesitate. Just contact us, and let's catch up and talk more about geothermal.
Yeah.
So I think that's all we want to share with you today, and I can't wait to pick up my favorite snack to try.
Yeah.
So which one would you like to have today?
No, please, you start.
Thank
Ladies
you.
first.
That's very nice. So I think I will pick this one. Very distinctive traditional snack with I can see filled with red bean. It's
Yes,
very sweet
yes.
one. Yes.
I will opt for this one. I think the packaging looks very nice here, very enticing. So
Cheers.
yeah, cheers.
And hope you have your favorite snack for your afternoon tea, your fika. And before we end up, please click like, subscribe, and send us questions, any kind of questions you'd like to know more about Japan market or overall geothermal industry globally. And we will make sure to answer you back in next episodes. Catch up and contact us. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye bye.